All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to say call hello, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Double honors be to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there, man, the hopefully elect. All right. This lesson is going to be dealing with the Sabbath, okay, which actually it's the Sabbath tonight at sunset. All right. So I'm just going to go, kind of briefly into a couple things. Just kind of debunk the widely regarded Sabbath and just kind of try to bring, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, bring some edification on what the Sabbath actually is. All right. Not literally what it is, but when it is, rather. Okay. So first, let's go ahead and start at the beginning. All right. Genesis 1. And first of all, let's start here, right? Genesis 1 and 13. It says, "And the evening and the morning were the third day." So the day it ends and starts at even. Okay, which when you go into even, let's go ahead and get it. We're going to go to etymology. All right, so here we are on etymology, Etym Online. Okay, great website to look into words. We're going to look up the word evening. All right. So it says the coming of evening, sunset, time around sunset. So when it says even in the Bible, right here, Genesis 1 and 13, and the evening and the morning were the third day, it's regarding sunset. All right, that's why I said evening first. Because why? Because we know it goes morning, afternoon, evening, right? So how would it make sense for evening to be the beginning of the third day? Because our days are based upon the sun, all right, in the sense of that. The sun is our clock, if you will. All right, just like how in Esau society, once it hits 12 a.m., it's a new day. Okay? But the reality is once the sun sets, it's a new day. All right? When the sun goes below the horizon and the light begins to dim is when the new day begins. Okay? Verse 14, "And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." So we base our calendar as a whole that we have was based off of the moon. Okay? You need to really think about this. All right? Because this plays a key factor, because these other camps, and I'm not bashing them or nothing like that, but I'm just, for edification's sake, I'm going to make mention of what they teach. They teach Friday to Saturday is the Sabbath. Well, that's not according to the Bible. That's according to Esau, Edom. Okay, that's what those Amalekites over there in the land do, and they really, they with certain traditions, so called, that they do, like I believe with all the black that they wear and all, they really worship Saturn. All right, Saturn. So, but just understand this, right? So these other camps, the holy days are based off of the moon, right? Because a new moon is a new month. Well, at least the main camps understand this, right? Or at least, a good portion of them. So the question is, why would the Passover, for example, be 15 days, 15 days after the new moon, but the Sabbath is just its own thing, and it's just Friday to Saturday? That doesn't make any sense. You see, why would the Sabbath be based off of Esau's calendar, but the holy days based off of the lunar calendar? It doesn't make any sense, right? So what it is first of all, let me go ahead and pull this, because this is a great point right here, I believe. So new moon, right? The new moon comes Let me do this instead. How often is the new moon? Because it should say, well, once a month. There we go. 29.5. Okay, so 29 and a half. So how would you get 29.5? There's 12 months. How do you get 29.5? That would mean that half of the months, the moon, the new moon, it cycles. One month it will be 29, the next it will be 30. That's why when you see Great Millstone, we keep our Sabbaths. We got, we'll have a Sabbath and then the new moon will be right after it, or there will be a space between. The reason for that is because either the month was 30 days or 29. All right, that's why that's where you get 29.5, because half of the months, because it alternates each month. That's why you got a space between every other month, if you follow. So, for example, we'll have a new moon coming up, and we'll have the Sabbath right before it. So right as soon as that Sabbath ends, it'll be the new moon. And then we have the rest of the months, which once again, it's every other, that you'll have the Sabbath will end and you'll have a free day, so to speak, a free space. And then the following day, it will be the new moon. All right. And the reason for that is because the new moon comes every 29 and a half days. Okay. Because 6 months are 30 days, 6 months are 29. All right. So that's just an important thing to understand. Now, how do we know? What are some key things that how we can draw to understand that the new moon, it represents a new month? Well, first, let's go ahead and go into the word month, right? Because the word month actually is derived from the word moon. Right here, see? Moon, it says month. Go down here. It comes from the word moon, okay? So put it together, right? A new moon is a new month. All right. Let's go ahead and get another one, right? There's an account, I believe, in 1 Samuel where David, and I'm saying David because he wasn't a king at the time. All right. But he didn't show up to the new moon feast. All right. Go ahead and go down here. All right, we'll start right here. 1 Samuel 20 and 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat, because it was a new moon feast, right? And the king sat upon his seat, because the new moon is a feast day. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something hath befallen him. It's talking about King David. Well, David at the time. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. So that's what King Saul was saying. He must not have been clean. That's why he didn't show up. That's why he's not here. But really, he was hiding himself because King Saul was envious of him. All right, and trying to, really take his life. Okay? I don't know if he was trying to take his life in this specific chapter, but he did. Okay? But I believe that he's already tried at this point in time, the 20th chapter. All right? So right now it's talking about what? The new moon day, right? So now pay close attention here. Verse 27, and it came to pass on the morrow, right? So it's saying the next day, tomorrow, right? Which was the second day of the month. So wait a minute. We can really stop right there. What made it the second day of the month? Because the night before, the day before rather, Salaki, the day before, not the night, because going into evening to the morning is still the same day, right? We read that in Genesis 1. All right, but this is saying came to pass on the morrow, meaning like the sunset had came again. So that day, the day that this happened, that David hid himself, that was over. That was gone, and it was a new day. All right? So it says, and it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month. The reason it was the second day was because over here, when they were having the feast, it was the new moon, like they said, which represents what? A new month. Okay? A new month. So if you really want to know, which we don't celebrate the new year, All right. But, of course it is, uh, it's not off to, want to know when the new year actually is. Now, we don't know what year it really is, but we know, according to the Bible, according to the scriptures, that January 1st is not the beginning of a new year. Okay. Really, because the month of Passover is the first month of our Hebrew calendar. Okay. It's the first month. So that first new moon around that time is really when the new year comes in. All right. Now, once again, we don't celebrate that, but there ain't nothing wrong with, acknowledging that it's a new year. All right. But it ain't really something that we really care too much about. All right. I can't personally say, oh, it's off. All right. But I can't say it's something we do. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know everything. In fact, I know very little. All right. But the little that the Lord has allowed me to know, I'm, trying to share. Right. So, Lord willing, this video is edifying. But definitely, we know celebrating New Year's Eve, New Year's in January with all these pagans out here, that's off. Okay. But, acknowledging that it's actually a new year around the time of March, April, that's fine. But once again, I don't know if we really celebrate that or not. It's just something that we kind of just keep note of. All right. So we proved that the new moon is the first day of a month because it signifies the new month coming in. So how do we know when the Sabbath is? Right. Well, the Sabbath is based off of the moon as well, because the first day is when the new moon comes in. So you count days after that. Let me actually pull up one of the lunar calendars so I can explain what I'm talking about here. I believe it's called the lunar calendar. Well, I don't really like this one. Let me pull up a different one. There's a specific one that I'm thinking about here. Because you got to figure too, Moses and Aaron and them, they didn't have these Roman calendars, these pagan calendars, these Julian calendars. They didn't have all that. All right, so how would they be in the wilderness? So they're in the wilderness and they got a calendar on a tree. Like, come on, bro. None of these days even existed back then. All right, none of these days existed during the time of Moses. So how did they keep the Sabbath? The new moon. All right, so we can see here. Yep. So boom. So Saturday right here, for example, let's say the new moon follows this. Saturday would, well, no, this is saying the 3rd. This is bugged out, Salakia, because this isn't what I was thinking about. This is wrong right here, because it's saying that the new moon is the 3rd day. This is trying to incorporate the moon phases with Esau's calendar. That's what that is, Salakia. That threw me off. Let me go ahead and find, because there was a specific example that I've used in times past. Maybe it's called a lunar solar. Here we go. This is a good example right here. All right, so here we go. We got, if that ugly thing right there would get off. All right, so as you can see right there on the top right, it says new moon is the first day, right? So the new moon came in the first day, boom. So the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th of that month are the Sabbath, okay? You see, and now, so this is an example of the calendar if the month has 30 days. So as you can see, that 30, it's white because it's not the Sabbath, right? So it's the day right after the Sabbath, and then what would come after that 30? Another new moon, and the cycle will begin all over again. But the month after this one on the calendar, just if you're following along, so lucky if it's confusing. After this, like when the next month comes, it would only have 29 days. So the last day of the month would be a Sabbath, and there would be no space in between the Sabbath and the new moon, if you see what I'm saying. So this is an accurate thing right here. Okay? Because after the new moon, you count 7 days. All right, 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. All right, 15, you see what I'm saying here. This is what it's based off of. Okay? It's not based off of Saturday or Friday to Saturday. That's not accurate. That wouldn't make any sense. Once again, why are the holy days calculated by the moon, but not the Sabbath? That wouldn't make any sense. Not to mention what they try to say is, they try to say, well, how could it be based off the moon when the Sabbath, or I mean the moon was, it wasn't created, it wasn't 7 days apart, the moon from the Sabbath. Well, you got to remember that in I believe First Peter, it talks about how one day to the Lord is 1,000 years. So creation was really, if I'm not mistaken, over the span of 6,000 years. Okay, so you can't say, oh, well, the moon, because where does it say the moon at? Salakia, where does it mention the moon? On the third day, right? So the third day the moon was created, and the Sabbath is on the seventh. So that's only 4 days. That's what they try to say. So they can't be based off the moon. Well, no, because one day is 1,000 years. So that's not accurate. That's completely irrelevant. Okay? And there's another one. I think it's Sirach 46. Hold on. Lord willing, I'm actually going to use that calendar that I showed you as the thumbnail. Sirach 43, Salakia. All right, so Sirach 43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name. So that right there, that puts the nail in the coffin. There's no way around that. Increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So the first day of the month is on the new moon day. When the new moon comes in, that's the first day of the month. 7 days after that is the Sabbath. 7 days until the end of the month. All right. The last Sabbath of the month is going to be on the 29th day of every month. All right. And then it's going to be either just a free day and then the new moon, or it's going to be a Sabbath and then the new moon right after that. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Okay. There's no scripture that says Friday to Saturday. There's no way they could have. No, man. It's just ridiculous. All right. The reality of it is that's some demonic shit. All right. That Esau pushes out there, Friday to Saturday. Just the same thing with the Sunday thing. Okay. All these days of the weeks and all the majority of these, if not all of them, are named after pagan gods and all sorts of other madness, man. All right, going into different philosophy and ideologies. Don't give into this madness. Okay, not to mention, if we're gonna be honest, a lot of people just are quick to fall into place with that Friday to Saturday because it's convenient for them. Figure what? People work Monday to Friday. They got Friday night off, Saturdays. So it's convenient for them. All right. No, the reality is that the Sabbath changes. Okay. It may be, and it has been Friday to Saturday, but the next month it will be, when it's Friday to Saturday, it will be Saturday to Sunday, or it will be Sunday to Monday. Okay, it alternates every month. All right, which is why the Lord told us to rehearse the righteous acts, which is why the Lord told us we're not justified by the law, because we know we can't keep the laws perfectly here. We're not even in our land. We don't have a actual, country anymore, man. We're essentially vagabonds right now. Okay, we're slaves, we're in captivity. Not to mention, let me go ahead and grab this. All right, Daniel 2 and 25, or not 25, Salaki, where is it at? Daniel 7 and 25, that's what it was. Daniel 7 and 25, and it reads, and this is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, Esau, especially the elite banker families today, right? Daniel 7 and 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. So that's why we don't even know what year it actually is. Okay, that's why we don't know. You know, that's why we gotta go above and beyond to figure out when certain things are not, because Esau has completely altered and changed everything. Okay, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. So Esau has completely messed everything up. We don't know what year it is. It's difficult to keep up with what the actual month is and what holy days are coming up and the Sabbath and all that. You gotta actually dig. You know, back then in ancient Israel, I believe the tribe of Issachar was our astronomers, so to speak. They were the ones that looked up and told us. They were the primary ones that looked up and said, "Yeah, the Sabbath is coming in and this and that and all that." You know, and the Aztecs are even known for that. Being great with certain things in the sky, constellations and things like that, if I'm not mistaken. So that just proves the point there too. But nonetheless, to stay on topic, you know, back then it wasn't a hassle like, oh damn, we got to, you know, oh da 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 da. No, people were appointed over that. All right, it was constantly known. There was no confusion. You didn't have to. Oh well, Esau says the next day, and no. It wasn't. And believe me, there is confusion that's brought forth, that's bred when you're dealing with Esau's time, right? Leap years and all this bugged out shit. You're trying to figure out how long certain feast days are and stuff with Esau's calendar. It's bugged the hell out because this man has completely changed time. He's changed the times and the laws. All right. So Lord willing that this was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors be to the apostles, elders, and brothers, or Salaki. Double honors be to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom be to you brothers and sisters out there, man. Shalom, the hopefully elect. Yahweh Shemel Shai Barakatham.